this bite can lead a human being to death, so that you must be very careful. And remember one more fact, he says, he is likely to be born in the ocean, in water, and now you will understand why. And this leads us to the next slide. There is an anecdote, absolutely, well, dumb thing. It's not funny at all, but the anecdote is, well, it tells the story of a farmer who, from a region that suffered from drought. And when he finally just came across some water, he fainted of his feelings, he was overwhelmed with emotions, so left was to see the water. And thanks for some men who found him and who cried out 3 buckets of tears, which revived him. Nothing funny about the anecdote. The point is that such kind of thing could be only born in the place where the only thing that they are lack of is water, because really droughts are terrible there. And having everything that a human being needs, they do not have enough water. So this is a burning problem. Next slide, please. However, I would like to give you an explanation of the fact that during the periodic drought, domestic cattle dies out, not of drought, not of being able to drink, but they die of starvation, because people make business on the drought. As no matter how bad drought is, any farmer can always find at least some water, just the needed amount of water to feed the cattle. But the food dries out, and it's really very hard to provide them with it, so that the prices go higher, and this is how they just make business on it. And only those buy cattle who have those very valuable use, and that's why it's just a terrible problem. Then the next slide, please. And now we're in the city, looking forward for medical care in Australia. Then the next one, and the next one, yeah. And here, this is the response of a Russian immigrant in Australia who says that that medical care is again one of the disputable problems in Australia. And the point is that he says that it's very hard to know what are the rules to be born here, what are the rules to get illnesses, and what are the methods to cure them. And no matter what good or bad thing they say, there is only one conclusion: take care of your health, avoid doctors, no matter what they are. I wish God saved you from all the clinics ever, even from the most expensive ones. Please do not fall ill. This is the only thing that you can do in Australia to keep yourself healthy. And the next slide is why study in Australia. Just click one more time. And here are the reasons why. The next one. This is, by the way, the real man who lives in Australia. He's a Russian one, and who has just graduated from the university, I guess. And there are actually reasons why it is, why it's worth it to study in Australia. First of all, because of the high quality of education, because all over the world, Australian education has very good grades. So it's considered to be one of the best. Then secondly, the right to work while studying since 16 years, because in America, for example, you're not allowed to work while studying. You must be, I guess, 21 at least. Here, it's very comfortable because while working, you can just study and you can do these two things together. Then goes the variety and flexibility of schemes of entering the universities, because this is all made up to you. You choose how to behave, you choose the scheme that is very comfortable for you, exactly for you to feel comfortable, exactly for you to, exactly for you. Then, good service for foreign students, because as we probably know, in Russia, we don't like immigrants that much, and they are not very good served, and they're not cared of. And the good relation for students, then there's safety and security, and good opportunities for leisure time, and free time activities, because Australia is very free time oriented. There you can find any crazy thing that you wish. The next one, please. Then probably teachers of English will be very interested in this slide, because it talks about the language. As every nation, they have their mother language, which is English, of course, but their English is Australian. And as we know, there's British, American, and Australian English. There are slight differences. And here are some Australian words like Aussie instead of Australian, which means, well, Aussilingo means Australian language, and some things like that. But the point is that now Australian English is very Americanized, so that it might, well, disappear. Not probably very soon, but anyway. As we've known from the previous slide, Aussie means Australian, and this is an Aussie gentleman, a typical Australian. Because there are beliefs of, stereotypes of a Russian person who always drinks, of an American person who is always not very smart, who is stupid, if say direct things. And there's also a belief that a typical Australian is not very intelligent. He's considered to be ignorant, he's considered to be very direct. Well, to begin frankly, he's stupid. That's how they, frankly speaking. And it's very strange, because people who live in a country which is very developed, which is very modern, and who work very hard just for this country to be in such a way, it's simply impossible that they are the kind of village people. But anyway, this is a stereotype, and we can't do anything with that. Then the next one. And this is just a typical Australian house. You're interested in it? Well, this is how it looks like. Then the next one, please. Oh, bring it back. It was... there are some problems with the technical presentation, I'm sorry. But the slide was about the things that they eat. And if your nerve system is not very... And the next one is... another thing that they invented is a space beer, where the cosmonauts who fly, well, who make their space journeys. This beer is made of, well, it's a whole scientific progress, though it doesn't do anything good, and it's know-how useful, sorry for this slang, but really it's not. But, well, the cosmonaut likes, and they think that, and the journeys that they do when they are far away from home, it's the only thing that makes them closer to their home. And then the next slide, please. This is nothing special, just the way the Australian dollar looks. The only thing that I want to mention is that for you not to confuse American dollar with Australian dollar, we should mind where, where the beige of dollar stands. Because if the beige of dollar stands in front of the figure, like here, like first goes dollar and then 100, it means that it's Australian. If it's after the number, this is definitely American. Then they don't have any style, so I'm not going to tell about it. And who do you think it is? I really wonder if you will guess. All right, show them who it is. This is almost Miss Australia. Almost. She was chosen out of 3,000 girls. That's very strange. Australian people are strange. She's skinny, and she doesn't look the way Miss something usually looks like. And the last very slide is about the movie Australia that girls probably like very much because the actors are handsome and because the story is, well, very overwhelming. And the next slide, please. The conclusion is that it's just vitally important that we go to Australia and that we avoid our own ignorance and that we learn a lot of interesting things there. The next one, sources of information, this is interesting. And the last one, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write me down on this email. Thank you for your attention.